Riyazat Ali Burdo, Assistant Professor in Physics at Government Shalatif Degree College, Kambar. Today we have topic from class Inter, chapter number 17, Advent of Modern Physics, and the title of topic is A Special Theory of Relativity. This is part A of the topic. So first of all, we will discuss about the two frames of reference. One is known as inertial frame of reference and second is non-inertial frame of reference, as written here, inertial frames of reference and non-inertial frame of reference. Inertial frame of reference are those in which objects are in rest position or moves with uniform velocity. On the other hand, non-inertial frame of reference are those in which acceleration produces, means velocity of the object increases or decreases. Then we have the postulates of this special theory of relativity. But before going to discuss the postulates, it is important that inertial frames of reference are valid in this special theory of relativity. Means special theory of relativity deals with the frames of reference which are inertial. So the first postulate is laws of physics remain same in all inertial frame of reference. This first postulate states that the laws remain same or constant for all the inertial frames. For example, if we say this postulate is wrong, means the laws doesn't remain same or constant, means they changes. If the laws laws of physics are not same, it means the object is in rest position or it is in absolute motion or in absolute rest position. So as we know, all the motion is relative motion, means this law is valid for the same position, means the object moves with relatively uniform motion or in rest motion. And the second point is that speed of light is universal constant. Speed of light is denoted by c and it has value 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Means this is maximum speed we know in this universe what the light has. For example, if a van is moving with the speed 50 meter per second and a man on this van throws a beam of light which has a speed c, then for an observer on the surface of earth, it finds that the object has a speed c plus 50 meter per second, which is not correct. So this law, the second postulate, speed of light is universal constant, is also valid. So after discussing postulates, we have results or consequences of special theory of relativity. The first consequence of special theory of relativity is time dilation. To understand time dilation, we take a spacecraft which is inertial frame of reference, means it may be in rest position or moves with uniform velocity. In a spacecraft, we have an observer, stationary observer, which observes the event, and the event is that an object breaks into two parts. So the time for breaking process becomes for observer 4 seconds, means observer finds that the object breaks in 4 seconds. This 4-second time is known as proper time and it is denoted by T0. So we have also another observer on the surface of earth. Surface of earth or earth is another inertial frame of reference. So here this observer observes that the time of break of this object is 4.5 seconds. This another time is known as relative time and is denoted by T. So means there is a difference of time. Observer on the earth finds that the time of breakup of the object is 4.5 seconds and the observer in the spacecraft finds that the time is 4 seconds, so which is less than the relative time. So to understand this, observer in special theory of relativity, time for time dilation is given as t is equal to t naught upon under root 1 minus v square upon c square. So here t naught is proper time, t is relative time, v is speed of the spacecraft, and c is speed of light. As this velocity is very much low as compared to speed of light, so this result of this calculation becomes very less. So this whole term gives us the number less than value 1. So when we divide this t naught means proper time with the value less than 1, the result we will find that always this t on a relative time is greater than proper time. So after consequence of time dilation, we have another consequence of a special theory of relativity known as length contraction. To understand length contraction, we again take inertial frame of reference, which is spacecraft here. In a spacecraft, an observer is present in stationary position who measures the length of this table. For example, length of this table becomes 4 meters. So we call this measurable length as proper length and denoted by symbol L naught. Again, we have another observer on the inertial frame of Earth. This observer observes that the length of table becomes 3.75 meters. Means there is a difference of measuring values. The observer in the spacecraft measures that the length has the table has length 4 meters, and the observer on the Earth measures that the length is 3.75 meters. We call this length of observer on the inertial frame of Earth as relative length and denote its symbol simply L. Now we apply the equation from a special theory of relativity for length contraction, which is L is equal to L naught into under root 1 minus v square upon c square. Here v is velocity of this spacecraft, and this velocity is much less than as compared to speed of light. So v square upon c square becomes less than 1, and the whole term this under root 1 minus v square upon c square gives us value less than 1, and when we multiply it with L naught, the proper length, we find that the length observed by the observer on Earth becomes less than the value of this 4 meters in the spacecraft. Means the length decreases. So now we have part B of a special theory of relativity, and we are discussing about the consequences of a special theory of relativity. The third important consequence is about the mass of the object. So the title of the result is mass variation. To understand mass variation, again we have an inertial frame of reference of a spacecraft. In spacecraft we have a stationary observer which observes the mass of the object. For example, the mass of this object he measures is equal to 4 kilograms. So we call this 4 kilograms mass as proper mass and denotes it m naught. Again, on another inertial frame of reference of Earth, we have another observer. This observer observes that the mass of the object becomes 5 kilograms. So we call this 5 kilograms mass as relative mass and denotes it m. Now we apply the equation from a special theory of relativity regarding mass of the object. So m is equal to m naught upon under root 1 minus v square upon c square. Here again the v is the velocity of a spacecraft, which is much less than the speed of light c. When we solve this section, v square upon c square becomes less, and the whole term gives us the value less than 1. So after final solution we find that these two results, that mass changes with velocity of the spacecraft. As the velocity increases, so mass decreases. And the second is that mass is not a constant quantity and not the same for all observers. Simply in classical physics, we have studied that mass is a constant quantity, but special theory of relativity shows that mass is not a constant quantity, but it varies with the speed of inertial frame of reference. Now we have an important question, that can an object move with the speed of light or not? To understand this phenomena, we take the equation of mass from special theory of relativity. M is equal to m naught upon 1 minus v square upon c square. So we want to move the object with speed of light. Here we replace this velocity of the object with speed of c. That we are assuming that the object is moving with speed of light. So then this equation becomes we replace v with c square upon c square. So c square upon c square, this gives us equivalent to 1, and 1 minus 1 means this whole term equal to 0, and we find that m naught upon 0, which is equal to infinity. Means if we have mass equal to infinity, then we can move the object with speed of light, which is not possible.